Welcome to Now Boarding.
Welcome to the latest edition of Now Boarding, and this one is quite interesting because I've got two very interesting young ladies who have been very good friends for a very long time, and both of them have a strong history in the travel industry, but they both started their own travel business many years ago. One of them happens to be my wife, and the other one happens to be my mate Amanda Taylor and Paula's very good partner in crime. Now, Paula and Amanda now look after the Holiday Village, which is a business within the Travel Village Group, and it consists of some really good entrepreneurial business owners, something we're very proud of. And I thought it'd be great if we did a podcast and sort of delved into a bit of detail, bit of history about these two, but also about what makes a successful travel business, the fun times, the hard times, the pressures, all those sorts of things. I think it'd be really interesting to get under the skin a little bit while I've got you together. Which is quite good actually, because Amanda has come from down south. She's very posh, you know. So if we brought her up to Blackpool to have a good chat with us, you had a good night out last night.
No, a good night in actually. I was in bed by 8:15.
Yeah,
it's very unusual. Yeah, I know. You know, all that travelling. It's a long way. It's a long way up here.
So listen, let's start. How did you two meet? Who's taking the lead on this one?
I'll take this one. It was back in 1999, actually, and Amanda was heading up and running a very, very large homeworking business. I think one of the largest homeworking businesses in the UK at the time. And I was working for a high street agency, had a second child, and decided homeworking or business owner was the right direction for me. So joined the business that Amanda was heading up at the time, and the rest is history, really. So that was 1999. So I think my little boy at the time was 4 months old, so it's 25 years ago. At least. I know.
Which little boy is that?
Jake.
The Lord?
Yes.
You know, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go on. The other one's not so little, is he?
No. Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah, but we've had some great fun, haven't we?
We've had a lot of fun along the way, definitely.
We've worked hard,
We've worked hard, played harder, and had a really good friendship that has lasted longer than some marriages.
But hasn't it changed? Hasn't it changed from when you first started that travel business, to what it is today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the marketplace is much, much wider with homeworking companies, whether they're homeworking or in an office or business owners, as we call them. But yes, it has changed. It's a lot more competitive. But then again, there's a lot more option. There's much more opportunity for a business owner to create a business by focusing on niche market.
You know what's interesting here, my next question is, and I bet the younger people go, what the bloody hell's he talking about? I remember, didn't you build your business on little blocks on TVs?
Yeah.
Teletext,
yes, we did.
We did. We used to have, every morning, we would get all the offers coming through on Forex, and you'd wake up in the morning, you'd have reams and reams of fax paper that had been chewed out overnight, and from that, you then had to pick your offers and hope that they were still there, because you didn't have time to make that phone call to check up on whether those offers were still there.
I remember you used to check it on the TV as well. You'd put the TV on and check that your page was there, and then you'd sit and wait for the
calls to come in. Yeah, £99. Sometimes we'd just have one offer that said from £99. Other times we'd have 9 boxes, but the risk was that those weren't available when the customer actually did phone.
You know, £99, a lot of those were, I mean, you remember your days, Paula, back when you worked for, Thompson Holidays. So we're talking about, what they call square deals.
Square deals allocated upon arrival.
Yes.
So you'd book something for, say £99, and you were guaranteed a pool, but you had no idea on the island where you were staying. You didn't know whether it was family friendly, and you just go, that's okay. It's a mystery tour.
You were hoping you were in the Los Pelicanos, a bit of Benidorm, but ended up in somewhere like the Dalmatians, which was all right, but it was at the top of the hill.
Oh, I saw some terrible pictures. I mean, in a way, thank goodness there weren't any phones capable of photographs in those days, because I think we would have got a lot more. But I used to have pictures sent to me, proper old school pictures of toilets that were hanging off of the wall. And I'd have to respectfully remind them that they'd only paid £99 for a week's holiday during potato picking season or factory closed down, whatever it was, when there was no availability and all there was a room with a toilet hanging off, or a sink hanging off, or no bedding, no curtains, no windows.
Those were the good old days.
They were the good old days.
Remember
they
the
were
single
great
rooms that they used to have at the Raymar Riviera? And you paid 90p.
Yeah.
90p, listen viewers, 90p a night.
Supplement for us.
Supplement. Yeah. And they used to fly out, didn't they? Benidorm in November as well, when they had the festival, what we used to call it.
Yes.
You know, crikey, those are the days.
My goodness, hasn't it changed? I mean, I did see earlier on this season, I think it was £183, but that was very early season, and that was with a respected tour operator, and I'm sure that would be absolutely fine with no toilets hanging off the wall.
So what made you to, I don't know, I guess I'm a bit presumptuous here, I suppose, what made you start the Holiday Village? Because I think it was when we got married, and you made that decision, didn't you? I think at the end of the day that we would do that.
I think, well, for the Travel Village Group, the one element you didn't have, so you had retail, you had Southampton Cruise Centre, you had River, you didn't have a homeworking business at the time. So it was a natural progression really to set the Holiday Village up. And then obviously that was with the help of Susan at the time, which is an amazing part of the business. And then Amanda came in with her skills of, you know, commercially and also business development to help the business owners grow the business and lots of new opportunities, especially new starters. We have a lot of business owners that have been in the industry a long time and actually established businesses. So they potentially have a large database of customers not looking for new opportunities. But when new people are starting, it's really important to have Amanda as a wingman a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm delighted to be here. I mean, we mustn't forget the business owners that are with us now that were with us 25 years ago. Yes. We've got a smaller handful of business owners that have been with us and successfully built up their business from those teletext days. And of course it is very different. But I've been back in a business with you now for a couple of years, and it's changed, but there's so many opportunities, and it's a very exciting time to come in to homeworking business ownership, because I think that the industry is developing all the time. There are new destinations coming aboard, even though you think the world is it's full. It's not. There are so many, and we have opportunities on our doorsteps as well with the UK, nearer Europe. I think there's quite a lot that we can still be doing, and great opportunities for business owners wanting to come in.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, I think, for us to actually learn a lot from our marketing and back office teams here, because, you know, they're a lot younger than us, and, you know, some of the social media platforms and AI now, obviously.
Surely not.
Not much. AI is here to stay, and, you know, we're sort of starting to learn a little bit how that can help in all different departments in the business, actually. So it's been able to upskill and educate our business owners, and I know that's strategy of Phil's with AI, but it's here to stay, and, you know, it's new technologies, really.
And we have to embrace it. I think you have all of these tools at our disposal, and we really, really do need to make the most of them. And, you know, the tour operators are using AI to build brochure content. We should be using AI to build itinerary content for our business owners to help them and for our consumer.
I think the key, I'm guessing, looking at, you know, how you two look after the business owners, it's about how we can help to make them remain relevant. I think, you know, you talk about the how the industry changed from back in the 90s when you started the first business to where it is today. You talk about advances in technology. Well, at every point, whatever happens in this industry, even when we went through that horrendous time with the pandemic, there's one word that I think is so important, and as a family business, I think it's something that we never lose sight of, and that is relevance. It's the challenge is always, how do we make sure that we are relevant to the customer? You know, and if that's at the forefront of everything that you do at the Holiday Village, then I think that the future is really bright, because that the technology and AI, artificial intelligence, will be going hand in hand with that human side. There's never ever been a discussion within the business, has there, that I've heard of either of you talking about, AI is going to replace human beings?
Absolutely not, no. I think it can only add value, really, and especially when you're looking and trying to see how you can promote something on social media and you're not too sure how to word it as a business owner, or to look for some USPs about the destination, then I think that's where it's really going to come into play.
Definitely.
What's the benefit? I mean, I'll ask you two this because it's your business. What is the benefit of people wanting to, business owners, entrepreneurs wanting to join the holiday village? What is it that you think really is that special USP that you have?
I'd say support, actually. And no matter, everybody's different. Everybody who joins is different, depending on what you want to sell, what area you live in, your expertise. So we tailor the support around individually a person joining the business. So there's no one size fits all. And I think it's really important that everybody in our business remembers that. And actually, when we have a new person join in, we can tailor that support, be it they might need a refresher on how to book tour operators, or actually they want to focus on a niche product or a niche destination. And that's where we can tailor that support. And we're there till 8 o'clock at night, 6 days a week. So literally we'll answer questions within about 5-10 minutes. So it's a really good SLA, and we'll fight for every booking for you as well. So that's a big difference, I think.
I think so. There's a lot of support in this business, right from having made that initial booking all the way through to the customer getting there at the end of it.
I was just going to say, Amanda, touching on that, this whole support thing, the benefits of people coming in and joining our business, there is also, I think, a huge benefit that carries on in the journey. That's a benefit to the consumer, isn't it? To the customer, in the way that we work.
Absolutely. Yeah, we read all the time about the consumer bouncing our business owners off against booking a direct package. Everybody is entitled to go and have a look at their options when it comes to choosing a holiday. But what you actually get with a business owner of ours is you get them as well as, and that adds value to your booking. That means that there's another port of call. So if the unexpected should happen, it's a reassurance for the consumer. And for the business owner as well, the reassurance is that we have a full team behind them who are making sure that at every step of the way that customer is checked in on for a welfare check, is then supported by the tour operator partner, and that we can go into the tour operator partners on our connections and help support the business owner and the consumer equally.
It's all about that. What happens when something, like you say, the unexpected happens for whatever reason, and that might be before the guest travels, it might be whilst our guest's away, and it could be actually there's something that needs addressing on return. And I think, going back to that human element, that's where the knowledge that we have, I guess, in the holiday village team, from the business owners through to the care team, even through to finance, it's people having that, I guess that comfort blanket and that certainty that if something's not right, then we will do everything we can to move heaven and earth within reason and within our power to make sure that the guests are looked after. I think that's a really important point that you make there, Amanda.
I also think that the relationships that we have with our supplier partners is vital to that as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's something that could potentially be something towards the destination or that particular carrier. I do think that the relationships we have add to that strength and support.
I think that's the same in any business. We've got friends who run family businesses, retail businesses or whatever, and that's the same thing. The whole relationship with your supplier is hugely important, and those businesses, I think, that have those great relationships have a lot of happy customers.
Definitely.
It feeds down.
And that's the other thing, we are a family business, so of many, many generations now. And I think those relationships are, you talked about age earlier on. There are business supplier in our chain who were with us back in the 90s.
Yes.
And, they're still, they're supporting us today as much as they did then. So we have the opportunity here to build
people we know going back to the blinking 80s. We're not going to mention
I
names.
wasn't going to say that.
Yeah.
I'll go with the 90s.
Yeah, you would. They're not going to thank us for that.
No, they won't thank us for that. And some of those are not in the industry anymore, but still quite influential in their own way and always have the odd word of inspiration.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
I mean, you two, a lot on your journey, you must have had some fun.
Oh, we have.
We have.
We can't always publish that though. Yes, we have had a lot.
I know.
along the way.
What was that one that I heard a rumour? He was not responsible for booking hotels anymore.
Me.
I know that is the same in our marriage.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'm pleased to hear.
Paula just thinks that everything
just all happens.
It all happens. She turns up at the airport, goes to the lounge, glass of champagne, and then it all happens. It all happens.
Perfectly.
What happened?
Well, it's just as well. I mean, we had our first birthday of a business that we had recently launched, and Paula kept saying to me, she said, "You just want to spend too much money on a hotel, so I'm going to book this one."
Amanda likes to spend money, don't she?
Well, I like
luxury.
So we'll come to that one in a moment. So there we are. We finished
Here we
this
go.
fabulous party. We've both got
It's only taken 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We're central London, by the way.
Central London. Wheelie suitcases. One of us had a birthday cake. The other one had the balloons, and we had a suitcase as well. And we ended up at Victoria in this multiple layer townhouse. I mean, at any other time it would have been
Let's come into the bedroom.
Coming into the bedroom. And we went in and upset the man checking us in. You asked for a can of Coke, and he then put us in next door where the carpets were threadbare. There were wires hanging out, and we had to walk.
There was no lift.
There was no lift. We were at the top floor. And we get into the room, and Paula said, "So where's the toilet then?" And I said, "It's down the corridor that way." I had by my side of the bed, there was a hole in the wall where clearly somebody either kneed it or kicked it. And the next morning at about 6 o'clock, earlier probably, the flight started coming into Heathrow. You want to see the passengers and the pilot.
I can remember exactly. It was £27 for the night.
What, in London? Yeah. Bloody hell, love.
I know, exactly. So we are at an event coming up, or by the time this gets published, we may have been to that event. And when I told Paula the room that night, she said, "Well, I can't possibly stay there." But anyway, she is.
Payback.
Yeah,
That's
payback.
You've had a few good champagne deals, haven't you?
We have had an immense time.
Yeah, we have.
Through all of those years, we've been to places that, we would have only dreamed of, maybe if we weren't in the travel industry. Definitely, we have done things, we've seen things, we've met the most incredible people along our journey.
And you know what? That's quite interesting, because when you talk about the advantages of, when I see the business that you run and the talent that you have within the Holiday Village and the business owners, the sharing of the knowledge is so important, because these people have had some incredible experiences, and they know exactly where to go, where not to go, when to go, and also how to get there. That can't be underestimated, because if you can Google all those things, etc., and you can ask AI, but actually that hardcore, knowledge is worth its weight in gold, isn't it?
I think if we added up all of the years of travel industry experience that our business owners have got, it would be a significant number, and that can't be replaced by AI. But you can tap into that, and for a new business owner coming into our business and finding their way when everything is new, except the fact that they have been an agent before. Suddenly everything goes out of your head, and it's, oh, what was the name of that hotel that particular operator offering, or where did I see that deal, or where do I find that? There is always somebody who is going to support you when everything else is going on in the business. There's always another business.
I think there's so many examples as well of the business owners, they don't just book that holiday, it's the whole journey until the customer safely returns home.
Absolutely.
So they do look after the customers end to end, and that's why the repeat and the repeat business is really high with all the business owners. Very proud of that.
Yeah.
That's why you two are so successful. At the end of the day, you know what it takes. You've been there, you've both done it, you've worked at the coalface, if I may say that. you've worked your way through, and that clearly shows. And I think that's a huge amount of respect that people in the industry have for you both. And we can't underestimate that. And that benefits the consumer. The guests get that benefit, feeds down, and that whole family business ethos again is important.
It's very important, and it goes both ways. It's I have utmost respect, as you do, for our business owners who are out there generating their own business and sharing how they've generated their business as well, haven't they? Yeah, and they're doing so many wonderful events and activities that are really generating and some of them are stepping outside their comfort zone, aren't they, to go and do a pop-up in a local venue, but they are doing it and
garden centres,
creating that visibility.
Seen a lot of that, haven't we?
Garden centre shows, travel shows, coffee mornings, community spaces,
charities.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of the business owners support local charities as well, and that is one, it's great for business, but also for the charities.
That's a great point. That is a really good point. The business does support some incredible charities. We do a lot of work to make that happen, and I think that we probably could do a lot more, as any business could and should do. Charity is a very important part of any business.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I think I've done pretty good putting up with you two.
That's rude. We need a medal.
You need a medal? You have no laugh.
I think that's why I've been positioned in between you, isn't it?
No, joking aside, I have the most amazing time. I'm very lucky working with you both, and I admire your energy and your passion, and the decisions that you make are always the decisions that are the right things for the people, both in our business and both for our customers. And I think I can't pay a higher compliment than that. But one thing I'd like to ask, before we close, because it's been a really interesting podcast, this one, is, how do people actually get to talk to you or to apply if they believe that they've got, what it takes to actually be part of the Holiday Village? What does that look like? How does that happen?
We don't massively recruit. We don't have targets. It's about having conversation, actually, and talking to the right people and making it happen. So if anybody is interested, they can just pop me an email, which is paula@theholidayvillage.com, and we start the conversation.
It's very simple.
Yeah, it's very simple. And the onboarding process is pretty seamless. Yeah,
it's onboarding or now boarding.
Now boarding. Sorry, the now boarding process is really easy.
No, you're right.
If anybody would like to have that conversation, then please reach out.
Brilliant. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you both here on this podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving up your time. I know you're both really, really busy. Even though we're together, it's hard trying to find time to do things like this.
Been going walking.
Every night. You know what? Every night we do that now. We go out for a walk and talk.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we don't get time.
No.
We don't get that quality time together.
It's very good for you because you're going to get that vitamin D as well, particularly after.
Just before you listen, was it you wanting to start something, with because I think this is really important. Let's not miss this out. When the business owners, more often than not, invariably, they are working either from home or in isolation. Now, as well as I do, one of the big things that we've always been aware of in our business is mental health. And you're quite passionate about this, Paul, and you are absolutely, Amanda, is, how do we make sure that people know there is someone they can always talk to or let off steam or things they can do, walking and talking? What is it you call it? I can't remember now.
Yeah, we call it walk and talk. We've not really launched it properly yet, but basically the idea around it is we share podcasts and things like that. So if there's a wellbeing podcast or there's something, no disrespect, around the menopause or something, that's a really good podcast, and we're at that particular age, then we can share it. I've listened to this, it's brilliant, but actually listen to it while you're walking. Again, in the office, actually, so Susan and I, the other week, we came out the office, we had 6 people to call each because everybody gets an outgoing call mostly every week, and we said, instead of sat behind our desks, let's go and walk. It was a lovely day. We walked down to the seafront. We walked all the way to the North Pier. We walked back to the office. We got an ice cream and we called 6 people each while we were walking. So again, that's really good for Susan's mental well-being and mine, actually. So it's just trying to encourage people actually where you don't need to sit behind your desk, you can get out. You need to make some calls, let's do that. We just need to put some foundations around it first.
We have sort of started that, health is wealth, because it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's really important to get that early morning sunshine or afternoon sunshine and not just be sat down for many reasons. And if you can, to encourage our business owners to say it's actually okay to step away from your desk for 15, 20, 30 minutes, as it's okay for us to step away from our desks for that length of time, because we don't waste any time. And that could be at any time of night. I mean, my phone is, and I know yours is as well, my phone is always available. If I can answer a telephone call, I will answer a telephone call, as you will too. So, and sometimes that's not quite, that's not so good for our mental health, but we're always there.
That health is wealth is really cool, because, I have, it's great. There's a great lyric, isn't there? And people always laugh at me. There's a great lyric in one of Ken Dodd's songs, Happiness, which is, when it comes to judging a man's success, don't count his money, count his happiness. And I think that's absolutely important. And I think that is a theme that tries to run through our business. Is to make sure can-do attitude that people are happy. Happy Holiday Village. So it should be the Happy Village, actually. Let's rename
Village. Rename it.
Yes.
Another brand.
Yeah.
Listen,
Happy Village.
It's been great to have you both on board. I wish you every success with the Holiday Village and with your relationship, the pair of you. I think you do a great job. Thank you so much for being a part of our business. It's amazing. And there you go. Another successful podcast, onboarding podcast even. And we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you for joining us. So it's a goodbye from me.
And from me.
And from me.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.